All right, welcome to the You Can't Say That in Church podcast. This is episode 2. My name is Derek Minor.
Parris, Chariz.
What your week look like, bruh?
Man.
We dropped the first one.
Dropped the first one.
Did you pop bottles?
No, I looked over it 100 times, judged myself, how terrible I did. You know what I'm saying?
How bad you feel you did? On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad of a podcaster are you?
I think I'm at 10 being the worst podcaster or 1 being the worst.
10 being the best.
10 being the
10
best.
10 being Joe Rogan.
Okay.
1 being your little homie in the basement.
Oh God, I was like a 3.5. Me.
So you like,
when I watched it, I gave myself like a 3.5.
it was like,
I'm just a hard critic. I'm a hard critic on myself. Yeah.
I get that.
I feel like it was a lot of things I could have expounded on with the topics that we brought up, and I think a lot of my problem is, because in a lot of ways I look up to you, I just be listening and learning.
man.
I was just listening and learning, so trying to learn how to. You know what I'm saying? Like what we were saying earlier, just trying to learn how to have the dialogue, have the conversation. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like I'm Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I feel like I'm the go to the podcast and stuff already. Like,
God,
I'm already there.
And what's crazy is I feel the same way. No cap. And I'm not mad at you for feeling. I feel like that. Yeah. I feel like I got to tighten up. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, not at all. Not at all. I think the beautiful thing about our pod is that it's just our opinions.
Yeah.
It's who we are. And I said this, off camera, that what's gonna make our pod brilliant is the fact that we just be ourselves. As long as we continue to stay being us, we gonna win.
Right. Speak for our people. Speak to us. Speak to others that's aligned with us, that think like us, that's trying to progress in the same way as we're trying to progress. Absolutely. Knowing the why. The why. So yeah.
All right. So we didn't pop bottles. What does your week look like?
Man, just getting back into town. One of my good friends, one of our, me and my wife's, some of our best friends, they got married. So we were just getting back in town from Tulsa, going to celebrate with them. So we had to pay rent, all of that good stuff, getting back into town.
How much did y'all argue while y'all was out?
Man, what's crazy is we didn't argue at all while we was out, because I feel like we both needed it, and we needed to see our friends, being away from our friends so abruptly and for such a long time. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. But it wasn't until we got back, we got back home, we started and I wouldn't even say really getting into it. It's really just understanding how to communicate better. And when I say that, not surface level communication, but literally the depths of her thought process, my thought process. And as we are going through our days, changing things in our mind, saying that to the other person, we assume that, man, I mentioned this, and we both do it. I mentioned this so you know that I'm trying to change. And instead of clearly stating, hey, like, I feel different about something I said earlier, and I want to make this plan. I want to make that plan.
So y'all at the diagnosis phase of the marriage, where both of y'all are diagnosing what's wrong with it all the time.
Sure.
You get to a certain point where you just get to be
crazy.
like, we just, hey, look,
we
I'm
messed
tired
up.
of arguing.
Yep.
Like,
But I say that's where we was at last night. Like, we both was like, bro, I ain't trying to do this. You know what I'm saying? And for me personally, I'm like, we got to do this in a healthier way, but we do need to do this because, and not to get too far into it, we both be feeling unheard.
Yeah.
So we do need to have this conversation, but what we don't need to do is yell and scream and be mad at each other. You know what I'm saying? So we got to calm down. We hugged and kissed afterwards.
See,
you know what I'm saying?
This is what people don't know. Weddings are the ultimate cheat code.
Weddings?
Going to a wedding as a couple, like, is the ultimate cheat code. You had a best sex when you get back from the wedding. Y'all be
it's just like, man,
it's
cloud
almost
nine.
like you just got married.
Yeah.
Because it literally transports you back.
Okay.
So it's like,
I can see that. I can feel that.
Nah, bro. Like, every time me and Amithia go to a wedding,
it's y'all grand time afterwards. Like, praise God. And for real, it was good. It wasn't until we drove. Even on the way home, we was good.
Yeah.
Laughing, giggling.
Yeah.
Fired up. We get back into the crib. You getting on my you get on my fucking nerve, man.
Man, that's how I go. That's how I go. Me and for us, y'all know I'm a big Marvel nerd. If you don't know, I love comic books and comic book movies. So I've been taking Zane through all the old X-Men. Okay. And it's like watching him watch those characters, like it felt like I was watching them for the first time.
Almost seeing it through his lens.
Seeing it through his lens.
Yeah, that's dope.
And it was crazy because we grew up with a whole different set of popular characters. They grew up with Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, all them being like the GOATs.
The ones.
And for us, I grew up with Wolverine, Cyclops, Professor X. So just watching him do that. My kids playing in a tournament this year. They team 12-1.
Basketball.
Yeah, basketball. So they ranked number 2. They got 2 dudes that's dunking on their team. They got a 8th grader and a 7th grader that's dunking. So it's just
different.
Like, these kids different hooping.
Yeah, they different these days.
Man, I remember getting a dunk off in 9th or 10th grade was crazy.
One of my best friends, Raheem,
man,
he used in 10th grade PE class. He used to dunk. We was looking at like, this nigga flying.
Right.
Nigga flying through the air.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? 10th grade, they doing it at 8th grade now. That's
8th
different.
Grade. Shooting from the logo.
Yep.
And
it's normal.
It's normal.
Step back 3, side step, you know what I'm saying? Mid-range turnarounds.
Yeah, nah. They got a kid on this team. His dribble bag is insane. It's like I'm like, you can run with us. Like,
you ain't no liability as a 7th
grader. You're not
grader.
a liability as a 7th grader. You can run with us. Or 8th grader, you can run with us.
Just the advanced knowledge on hoops. Man, I used to watch, you know what I'm saying, me coming up, I used to watch the little DVDs. Like, so when you want to protect the dribble,
yeah,
you want to do this, and you know what I'm saying? Like, now they getting whole between behind the back, you know what I'm saying? Dribble with 2 balls, catching a tennis ball at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, they doing that in 5th, 4th grade, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just an advancement of knowledge. And the crazy part about it is they're better at basketball, but they're not better at basketball.
They're not better at the actual sport.
The sport, but they're just more quote unquote skilled, faster.
And that's what drives me insane sometimes watching 8th graders play basketball, because I'm like, you can do all of this amazing stuff, but you do not have any concept of why the mid-range is important.
No concept of why making the simple pass is important.
Right.
No concept of why backdoor cutting, or, you know what I'm saying, 2 dribble, get off of it.
They play it like 2K.
Right.
Like, they play the sport like 2K.
Yep.
And it drives me up the wall. They got a kid, like the kid that has the dribble bag, he'll make a 3/4 court pass to a dude that's under the goal when there's a guy that's like right open, right here. And it's just like, and that pass will get intercepted. And it's like, well, if you got it to that guy, who would get it to that guy?
Make the defense shift.
Everything would change. So that's the
IQ of the game.
IQ, these kids' IQ.
Oh, they skilled, but they don't got no IQ. That's why I said they better at basketball than we were, but they ain't better at basketball. Mm-hmm. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. But so getting into our agenda today, I watched a podcast with Curtis King, one of my favorite YouTubers, streamers, podcasters. Just put me on.
I never heard of him.
Yeah, he's literally one of my favorites. He got on by doing tracks for TDE early on. So he did some stuff for Absol.
Oh, wow.
But his pivot to podcasting, top tier. And he was interviewing AJ McQueen, who I remember, he brought me to Houston my first time ever performing in Houston.
AJ McQueen?
Yeah, because he was a Christian rapper early on.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, him and it was 3 of them. They actually had signed 1K Few before 1K Few was 1K Few. He was called Future Kid. Yeah, they had signed him.
That's
hard. Anyhow, I had to watch that podcast.
Yeah.
And he made a great point. He said off of one mixtape, he's probably made over $18,000.
Yeah.
And he said before his project came out, he made $10,000. And it got me to thinking to what the new model of music business has to look like. Because $10,000 before it comes out, that's, I mean, generously, that's 2 million streams worth of money.
Before it even hits streaming platforms.
Before it hits streaming platforms at all. Just off of his fan base.
Yeah.
What does that make you think as far as being an artist, you know, with an amazing career that's growing, you know?
It makes me feel like I need to, you know what I'm saying, activate my support system better. Personally, you know what I'm saying? From an A&R standpoint, I think that's amazing how he's able, and I watched clips of it. I haven't seen the whole podcast. I did watch clips of it. He talked about, you know what I'm saying, understanding patterns, you know what I'm saying, and pattern utilization or pattern realization. He said a few things, but understanding the pattern of how brands work and how to activate once you know your why, you can, the people that align with your why that you're trying to reach, you can activate them with certain patterns. So as an A&R, for him to figure that out and figure out how he can communicate that to also branch out and not just be an artist, but be a consultant. I think that's fire. But from an artist standpoint, it just, you know what I'm saying, for me, it begs the question for myself, like, man, what am I doing to, you know what I'm saying, create patterns for my audience? You know what I'm saying? What am I not doing that don't, you know what I'm saying? Am I not consistent enough? You know what I'm saying? Am I consistent but non-engaging? You know what I'm saying? I could be consistently dropping music or reels, but that doesn't mean I'm engaging, communicating back, responding to DMs, comments, you know what I'm saying? And what are some things past those small particulars that I could, you know what I'm saying? He said it, how could I do more? How could I do more?
Why do you think most artists, knowing that, okay, we only make 0.003 per stream, why do you think most artists are only focused on blowing up on streaming?
Why do I think most artists are only focused on blowing up from streaming? Because
in my generation, we made money off of
hard CD sales,
CDs, MP3 downloads, and right now the data says that vinyl is one of the fastest growing mediums right now. People are buying CDs again. So why do you think? I mean, streaming that's your era.
Yeah. I think streaming, just that alone, is my era. So I think people are hyper fixated on playlists still. You know what I'm saying? And to my knowledge, the things I've been learning, that has been dying since the pandemic, streaming. You know what I'm saying? Because let me answer the question. I don't
think it's dying.
It's not dying, but it's stagnated.
Well, I would say the platforms aren't adding any new subscribers, or the subscribers aren't falling off. It's just become what it's become.
It's become what it's become. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was about to say something else about the streaming number of money, you know what I'm saying, how that's broken down, but I'll answer. I think where people are focused on, and another thing too is virality. People, I think a lot of this generation and people like under us, that younger generation, they value likes and views. It seems like people feel like their success is if I'm going viral. You know what I'm saying? And then if the virality can produce real streaming numbers, it's like, man, I feel like it goes, streaming and virality go hand in hand. And it's, I think, in the generation of streaming, you know what I'm saying? I think that's why people hyper fixate on it. Because if I get on enough playlists, my numbers will go up, regardless of if it's actual people listening to it.
Right.
I just need to be able to post to say I got 500,000 streams, and you see my last 3 posts do 40,000, you know what I'm saying, 400,000 views, 300,000 views. But it doesn't translate into I don't think the part that they miss, it doesn't translate into real dollars, real people, and real fan engagement.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It doesn't
so
translate.
Do you feel like artists in your era of music, and I'm not even talking about like the people that you know, but just the class of artists that you're in, the streaming era, the likes, social media era, do you think people actually have real fans, or are they just being propped up by algorithms? What artist would you say has like real fans from your class of artists?
Somebody like Smino. Smino to me has real fans.
Okay.
I've seen people say Smino is better, or AJ McQueen.
Yeah.
AJ McQueen, you know what I'm saying?
Like in that video, he says he's selling out shows.
He's selling out shows. And and 10,000 in the grand scheme, like 10,000 is, but to make 10 bands before it hits anything.
Before streaming.
Like, man, if you want an early access, he got his fans activated. If you want early access, yeah. He even said somebody paid $1,900.
Wow.
So one person
Lil Russell, Kyrie Irving paid $11,000 for one album for Lil Russell.
Like, let me go back to the question you was asking. Because I was about to go somewhere else when you said that.
Yeah.
What was the question again?
Do you think artists in your class have real fans?
Yes. I think, or are they being propped up?
Are they being propped up by algorithms?
I think some of them do, and that's what we were talking about. Some of the artists that do. No Big Deal has real fans. Hovey, I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? I went to the Hovey show in Tulsa. He got real fans with 900 people in there. You know what I'm saying? In Tulsa.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, I'm not living in Tulsa and partly being from Tulsa. People show up the day of. You know what I'm saying? It's not a pre-sale ticket kind of place. You know what I'm saying? Unless you really there. I feel like those people got real, legitimate, activated fans. In the Christian hip hop space, Dill, Hovey, I said that. But from the others, I think on the other side, I think people are just being propped up by going viral. I'll see some people, because that's the first thing I do. On my A&R side, the first thing I do, somebody that's going viral, I go look at they monthlies. I go see what the streaming numbers of the song that's going viral. It's a dude named Shawty Main. He like from Nebraska or something. He go on Instagram, he be going dumb. Then you go see the numbers. It's like the numbers do make sense.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But and I'm not saying he's being propped up on Instagram, but I do think it's a slippery slope. You know what I'm saying? You could, because Instagram likes, comments can become currency, but they're not in its innate form currency. Depending on what you want from as an artist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it begs the question of what is a real artist in 2026? Because the traditional sense of what a real artist is a music creator who has people that will pretty much buy whatever they put out. That's the artist that we grew up on. We grew up on Kanye. If Kanye's selling shoes, Kanye's selling clothes, we buying clothes. If Kanye's in a movie, we're watching a movie. But now, because there's so many choices for entertainment, maybe like Curtis King, he's a producer, he's an artist, rapper, but his podcast is probably more popular than anything.
Beats, right.
So I think it begs the question, what is a real artist in 2026? And then I also think you brought up Hovey and Dill. I'm also like, as far as like Christian rap is concerned, we see so many artists that we think are popping in Christian rap, but do you really think that a lot of Christian rappers have actual fan bases? We know Hovey.
Yeah, I'm about to say, when you talk about the scope of Christian hip-hop.
But the scope of Christian hip-hop, do you think that there's people that have actual fan bases?
Yes and no. Yes and no. See, yeah. And I'm not even saying that to be safe. I genuinely do feel like I would say this. I think a lot of Christian hip hop artists are blinded by what they think having a fan base means or is. So if I'm constantly getting followers, people are resharing my content, I go viral, people are asking me to come for shows, whether it be a church show or whether it be Smoke Fest.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're blinded by, I guess, the want to seem as if they have fans. But I think if they were to just put on a show, I don't think it would be as though they, you know what I'm saying?
Then that means if you're saying that if they put on a show, no one's coming,
and I wouldn't, and that's what
that means that there's not a fan base.
But, okay, but what is no one's coming?
That means one of two things: that there's not a fan base, or they have a communication problem. Okay, there's only two options. If it's I can talk to people and I can communicate with them and ask them to come out to my show and spend money, and they say no, that means they're not a fan, because a fan is like,
I'm pulling up.
Whatever you're doing,
all right,
I'm doing.
Okay.
So then the question
I would say
do we have communication error or what?
For the grand scope, no. I don't think a lot of specific Christian hip hop artists have fan bases. I feel like a lot of us, it's like a factory of supporters, and we just spinning the wheel hoping we can get you know what I'm saying? You know, like them little at the bingo when they you know what I'm saying? We just hoping that it fall through and it's our number, that we get an influx of fans.
The little bingo ball.
The little bingo ball. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, it's almost like a gamble. We waking up today, man. I'm a gamble with this one. I'm a talk about God a little bit more. I'm a put it in this way. I'm gonna do this type of content because, man, this might be the one that get me viral. Yeah. And then people gonna start listening to me. And then I'm gonna get a fan base. Like, right. So to answer your question, no. I think people think they have fan bases. And that's why I wanted to say yes. I think people think they have fan bases. But from, you know what I'm saying, A&R standpoint, man, you don't. They're not activated. The streams, a lot of the times, even the streams you're getting are streams of old. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me see what, it's almost like, man, let me see what this nigga up to.
Right. Or algorithmic streams.
You drop something, or algorithmic stream, you just end up playlists that I don't even know who this is. This song, this fire. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? That's why getting Shazammed is a thing. Mm-hmm. Like it's just background music. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I think to further along what you said, what is an artist in 2026? Man, an artist in 2026 is somebody that, it's not about selling out shows, but somebody that can go to a place that's not their hometown. Whatever that cap venue is that you buy, you can have those people, you can have them activated to come out, buy merch, spend money, spend time, and you can do it again. You can rinse and repeat and do it again in another place.
Only place I would disagree on that is I don't think it has to be outside of your hometown. If you can put 500 people in a room in your own town consistently, I think you're an artist. You just might be a hyper local artist, but you're an artist.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And the thing is, that is hard.
It is.
And I think the challenge for,
I didn't want to diminish that, but
I understand what you're saying. Is like
you gotta
that you can go to multiple places. But the playbook that worked for us, 116, or even Derek Minor pre 116, was I was throwing shows in Nashville before I signed to Reach. I was building a base before I signed to Reach.
And that's why I said I didn't want to diminish it, because I was too.
Yeah. I was just local.
Yeah.
I think now, for Christian rap has a really, really hard problem, and I'm just going to keep it 1,000. But Christian rap has a really, really hard problem, which is the lottery or the wheel that you're talking about is often who can become adjacent to CCM the quickest.
Sure.
Who can make Forrest Frank fans like them fast enough, and then I might be able to fly off of that Forrest Frank momentum Before Forrest Frank, it was For King and Country. Before For King and Country, it was Toby Back and Newsboys, right? Like, who can get adjacent to that world? Because that world is really, really passionate about supporting people, not because they're fans of them, but because they're fans of Jesus. So they're like, you rep Jesus good?
Rock with that.
I rock with that. I rock with the fact that you rep Jesus good and we're aligned on that. So therefore, I'm going to support you to keep pushing because you're better at pushing my ideas in the world than I am.
So okay, tell me the dangers of that, because then what happens when you say something that don't align with, just because we rock with Jesus? We've seen that a lot. Like, man, you love Jesus, I love Jesus, but you don't love Jesus the way I love Jesus.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So the dangers of that is, this is the issue that we see with Christian rap artists that we don't see with legacy rap artists. Is Christian rap artists probably have, if you are blessed to get adjacent to CCM music or to have a stint, after that 5 to 7 years, if you don't have a real fan base that actually care what you think, then you're just removed, and then the younger version of you is propped up in your place. So think about a lot of legacy Christian rap artists, because they never had a real fan or fan base, they can't tour and do like I remember there was the Young Jeezy, I think it was Young Jeezy, T.I., Gucci Mane, like Southern Legends tour. It was a bunch of like older Southern Atlanta rappers and Rick Ross that went on a tour. They could fill it out. Or me and my wife, we went to it was 112. It was a bunch of old R&B artists that had a tour, and they were selling out like an arena. And those people were just as passionate back then. But the problem with Christian rappers not having a fan base, you age out, and they just replace you with a younger version of you for that group of people. And then what happens is those kids that age out of youth group, their only relationship to you is youth group. And now since I'm not a young guy anymore,
I don't connect with that.
I don't connect with you. I don't connect with that part of my life. I have fond memories of that, but I don't really care what you're into right now. And I don't really care to hear that because that was youth group. So let's say I'm not even a Christian no more. Let's say my memories of youth group I felt like were corny. Well, then now I'm forever attributing you to the corniness of my youth group.
Yep.
So that you age out.
And with that, do you think that's another reason why, like, somebody who falls short in an area, they completely like fizzle out in Christian hip hop specifically? Because going back to episode 1, when we were talking about the concept of a divorce between Christy and Desmond, I seen a Desmond post, and it's people in the comments like, man, we still support you.
Yeah.
Even though he fell. You know what I'm saying? And when you get to Christian hip hop, soon as you do something that is perpendicular to, you know what I'm saying, like you know what I'm saying, we're talking about off camera, like the leftist or right wing or whatever. It's almost like, man, I was only rocking with you because I thought we aligned on everything.
Yeah. One thing I'll say is this, that how you come into the game is more than likely how you're going to leave. Which is this: if you come into music and you create a fan base based off of tearing other people down, that's probably how you're going to leave.
Being tore down.
That is probably going to be your exit from the space, is that you've created a den of wolves, and you've created a den of thieves and backstabbers who all they want to do is walk around with the pitchfork and the torch.
I'm gonna find what's wrong, and when I find it, I'm gonna kill you.
Right. So if I'm leading that, right, let's tear him down.
Yep.
Let's tear him down.
Yeah.
Let's tear her down. Well, eventually, you're going to do something because you're human. And then they're going to say, let's tear you down.
Tear you down, man.
Yeah.
It's your turn to get tore down.
Or if they have the same issue that you got, then they're going to look hypocritical because now they have to say, oh, we have to find grace. Then now the issue of grace looks weird. But it's like, wait a second. Now y'all spent your whole career tearing down people with bad theology, tearing down people that were that made mistakes in the pulpit, tearing down people that you didn't align with. But now you made a mistake, and now you want everybody to have grace on you. For you. And I think one of the examples of that is Brian Trejo.
Okay. I think I remember. I vaguely remember that situation.
Yeah, and I don't want. This is not a diss to Brian Trejo. I actually saw him say. If Brian, if you see this, I would love to talk to you, and I would love to call you because you could see the hurt in him. That he said, man, there's people that's telling me that I don't have a word for people anymore, and that that I don't qualify anymore. And he's like, but me and my wife, we rededicated.
They still together?
Yeah, they're still together.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they rededicated.
Okay.
And you can see the passion in his heart.
It's different.
To really
reconcile this
to really like go hard for Jesus. But he's having to deal with the fallout from that. And my word to Brian is like, man, one, if you've done the work, man, the beautiful thing about God is that God uses broken people. That is his prime weapon of choice. It's somebody that everybody look at and say, you're worthless. Because that's when God get the glory. So my word to Brian is like, hey man, that's the story I want to hear. Is the rebound of
how do you get up?
You made a mistake in your marriage and y'all just rededicated y'all's life. I want to hear that story because there's so many people that marriages is on the rocks. They need that hope.
Yeah.
And if y'all are aligned and moving in that direction,
help a lot of people.
Man, you could change the world.
You do it.
It's
you actually.
Like, if this is real and authentic, this is where your story starts.
Yeah.
This is where your ministry starts.
This is where you have the real impact.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the issue prior to that was that, man, he was so what you would look at as passionate and zealous to stand for what his belief of the gospel was that you didn't leave room for a lot of grace.
Yeah.
So then when you needed it, you built an army of people that were graceless. So their response is graceless.
Yeah, they're reciprocating what you presented to them.
Reciprocating what you taught.
Yeah,
I taught you that with my music.
I created the monster that's now attacking me.
Exactly. But the beauty is, and that's the thing I love about God, is even when he humbles us or when he allows us to reap the fruit of our actions, that he's never done with us. It may look different. From the outside, someone may look and say, oh, you fell off. But no, it ain't a fall off because the Lord is not bound by time. He ain't bound by what the flesh sees.
Yeah.
He sees what's in your heart. And it's like for people that have made mistakes, that's what's gonna make Christian hip hop actually lit. Beyond the youth group is when you begin to tell that real story of that real failure. Not the, oh man, I was prideful. Not the, oh, I didn't read my Bible this morning. No, the real failure. Like, man, I cheated on my wife. And this is the work that took to get my marriage back intact. Or, man, maybe my marriage didn't get back intact and I have to deal with the weight of that. This is where I'm at. That's how you relate to real people.
Yeah.
Because that's what real people are dealing with. Real people ain't waking up thinking about how to kill a demon.
Man, I was talking to Aha one day and he said that too. Like he was just like, man, that's what we were talking about something similar to this about how it being real and authentic. And it was like, man, I can't sit here and make a song that Jesus coming back. And it's real people that's dealing with real life issues in their life today. Like Jesus ain't coming back right now.
What do I do between now and when he comes back?
Yeah. So yeah, it's like, man, I need to talk about those steps to make it to tomorrow. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So hearing you say that, like that's powerful because I think as artists, I think we both are like that. And I think that's what made us or makes us unique. So to me, I would say, do you think that's what's missing in Christian hip hop? And even the people that are successful, do you think the people that are successful, they have a form of that, or is it still just being adjacent to CCM?
So there's a challenge here. And the challenge, I would say, is not that Christian hip hop does not have people that are telling real stories. They're everywhere. I would say Aha.
I agree.
I would say Star Ringo.
I agree.
I would say myself, you. Yeah. I think the gap is the investment. Because the next question for a rich person that's an investor is who do I put money on? Do I put money on the guy that I can get on Winter Jam and get my money back on that exact tour? Or the guy that's telling the real story and I don't even know if he can put 50 people in a room in his hometown? Yeah. Who do I invest in? At that point, you got to think the better business decision is the Winter Jam guy than the guy telling the real story. For sure. But until the guy who's telling the real story actually builds something that someone can say, if I put $1 into, I get 2 out of. Yeah. That's the challenge. The challenge is not necessarily the music or is there appetite for it. It's that I don't think the people that are in the I keep it real space are thinking about market share as much as they should. Or they're trying to be the Lone Ranger. Like when you,
that was my problem.
Yeah,
that was my problem.
Yeah,
yep.
When you look at the grand scheme of, Forrest Frank is not by himself. Forrest Frank is doing music with Corey Asbury. I remember one time I was like, yo, he's collecting the infinity gauntlet of rappers. He had
Few,
No Big Deal, Few,
Caleb Gordon.
You know what I mean? He literally collaborated with as many people as he could collaborate with. But what I see with the keep it real rappers is they're on their own thing. There's no collaboration, there's no infrastructure, and there's nothing really to invest in. So my question would be, like you said, that was you. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that crop of artists
move like that?
Yeah, moving that way.
And I'll speak for me. I would say I moved like that because I thought a lot of Christian hip, especially early on, you know what I'm saying? I thought a lot of Christian hip hop stuff was no disrespect, you know what I'm saying? I thought it was like not cool, corny, you know what I'm saying? So I wanted to stick with my guys who I started this with and wanted to move along with that. And then you also start to see how fickle people, and that's another thing too. I don't think it's a Christian hip hop thing. It's a person thing, especially because we both believe in God. So it's like, man, like I heard this story, I heard that story, and then when I get in with you, it's something. All right, so I got burned here. All right, let me try to do with these people. Okay, I got this, I did this. Okay, I didn't get burned, but I don't feel welcomed here. I feel these people make me feel less than. Okay, so let me go over here. Man, these people told me I don't talk about God enough. So man, I'm gonna just go my own way. I don't need nobody. I don't want to talk. I don't want to collab with nobody. That's just my thought process. You know what I'm saying? I won't get into the details of the inner workings of certain things to say people's names, but I think once you have to find, and man, let me land. I think we get to that place of being a lone wolf, a lone ranger, because, and it's the same way in the streets. I can't trust nobody, so I'm only with the ones that I can trust, which is most of the time my family. But at the same time, man, like for me, man, my family start wanting to do other stuff. They don't want to rap and be in a group and build this thing like World 45. They don't want to build it the way we once set out to build it.
Right.
They've changed. They have different priorities. This is still my priority. So now I'm extra on my own. So now I gotta, and that's where I find a Doc. That's where I find a Derek. You know what I'm saying? A3 350 Byron, TJ. You know what I'm saying? You have to. I feel like they do that because they feel like there's no one that recognizes them and appreciates what they bring to the space. So instead of, I'm not gonna go where I'm tolerated. I'm gonna go where I'm appreciated. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm wanted. And I think if I could say, I would say that's a lot of the lone wolves in the Christian hip hop space that's in it, but not like, man, I don't really, you know what I'm saying? I don't really.
And I think that's or it's not, I think, I know that is what prevents the potential for amazing movements is when I've never seen a movement that's been impactful that's been only one person. Even if it's one person that's the face. It's a conglomerate of people. Conglomerate of people. That's if you unseen. Look around, you constantly see them and be like, and then they wind up becoming stars like Rakai with Kai. It's like, he was just a little homie that was around, but eventually he's his own thing now.
Chubbs for Drake.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like
when you look at the Duke Dennis and all them.
Yeah.
Like they've been when they all came together,
that's when
Agent,
AMP.
I saw the Jokers had some deodorant.
Real?
Yeah, they had deodorant. I bought it too. It's pretty good.
It's good.
Like,
it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I bought it, but when they all came together, it became something different.
Yep.
And I like when you look at, and I keep bringing him up, but when you look at Forrest Frank, I don't think Forrest Frank cares if you appreciate him or not. No. I don't think Forrest Frank could care less what CHH thought about him and his raps or anything. And so I don't agree with the only go where you feel appreciated perspective. I think only live where you feel appreciated. But it's okay to go someplace, and if you go and it don't work out, it's like, all right,
dust your feet off.
Dust your feet off and leave. But
that's real.
I think that's an issue sometimes with artists in general. Is we're afraid because we want everybody to be our best friend and love us, and we're constantly looking for validation. We're constantly looking for somebody to tell us, like, man, you good. You said the right thing. You did the right thing. Like that.
That's hard. That's hard. Yep. And the moment they don't, you feel like, whoa, like, man, I just gave you my heart and soul, and you don't rock with it, like.
And that's not leadership.
Like, I'm good. Exactly. And I think that's why I only wanted to speak for myself, because I had to understand that, like. And I tell this to some of my younger guys, man. One day you're gonna have to trust somebody.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to. Man, I don't know if I should say it. I'll say it. Like signing with RMG, it's like I gotta trust somebody. Yeah. I've did all of my eggs are in this music basket. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
Until now, we have other baskets that, you know what I'm saying, you helped me create to, you know what I'm saying, funnel it through. We still figuring it out, but. All of my eggs were in this, you know what I'm saying, being an artist, musician basket. So it's like, man, like you said. And I couldn't articulate that, but that was my thought process. I ain't never seen nobody do this by themselves. I said the greatest didn't do it. Jay-Z ain't do it by himself. Ye ain't do it. Kendrick ain't do it by himself. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick needed soul. Kendrick needed, and I'm just talking about that's from an artist standpoint. He needed J-Rock. You know what I'm saying? J-Rock needed Kendrick. He needed Tech Nine.
Tech Nine put him on tour before anybody.
You know what I'm saying? He needed Punch in the background doing the business, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, like
Ali,
his mixing engineer, you know what I'm saying? So for me, it was just like, man, you got to trust somebody. And you have to leave room for error. Like we was talking about, leave room for grace. Like we want everything to be roses and smell good. And it's like, nigga, like he got a family too. Like even with, and that's, I be back and forth with and I'm going somewhere else, back and forth with the corporate and independent vibe, because it's like, man, thinking corporately is like, man, this owner of this business, he about to give me 50 bands. It's like, yeah, bro, I don't just want my 50 bands back. If I'm about to just hand you $50,000, man, can I please get 100 bands back?
I want 100.
Can I get 75 back, please? And we as artists is always talking about like, man, I'm worth more than that. 20. I had a conversation with an artist back in Tulsa. He's like, man, like I heard people giving out deals for 15, 20,000. I'm like, yeah. You what else do you think you like? You want me to give you $250,000 and you don't even put out music because you feel like you're good?
It's different when you on the owner side.
Yeah. So
when you on the owner side, when you on the artist side, it's because most artists have never owned anything and they've only been an employee their whole life. They've only either been an employee at Spotify or been an employee at
been told
McDonald's
you're so valuable,
or Amazon.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like you're used to getting what you pick a job based on what you feel like you can make off of that job.
Yeah.
The owner side is different. The owner side is a consistent investment, and then when you invest in something, you're looking for a return on the investment. So what people don't realize is when you're not an owner, your monthly or your hourly rate or your weekly salary is that business owner's subscription to you. They're saying that your job and your time is worth this amount of money. And it's capped at what that person deems
what they set
that
for you.
is.
Yep.
So the reason why artists that has never even made $20,000 in their life off of music will tell you that they're worth $100,000 is because they've never had to actually evaluate and invest and think not only how much am I going to spend on this, but how much am I going to get back over what I spent, because that's never been a thing. It's only been show up, get a check, show up, get a check, show up, get a check. And
not even to advocate for like the business owner side, but at the same time, I feel like that's biblical. Like the story about, you know what I'm saying? He gave this person 5 talents, 2 talents, 1 talent. Man, in the parable, he was like, man, I want a return.
He said you could have at least put it in the bank
and got some interest on it. Like I want to. That's big. I need a return.
Like you could have got 4%. Everybody else gave me 100%, 500%. You could have got 4.
Something. Just give me something back. Like
yeah.
So it's bad business is bad business, but at the end of the day, like, and that's what I had to come to terms with. Like understanding the corporate side of the business of music is like, man, like yeah, like. You want me to give you $1 million because you feel like you're worth, like you said, you ain't even made $1,000 off music. And you want me, just because you feel like you're so good at rapping, you want me to give you $1 million. And then when you blow that $1 million and you don't have any more money, and I ain't even made 10% of that back, you want me to give you more money?
Yeah.
Nigga, is you
and we're also
is you
talking
crazy?
And that also comes from people not having to allocate risk versus reward. Because when you're betting on yourself, you always feel like you're the best risk. But when you're getting invested, when someone is investing in you, now you have to deal with the fact that you may not be the best risk to them.
Right.
You're always gonna be the best risk to
yourself.
You.
Yeah.
But that's not how you get money.
Yeah,
you get money by the investor saying you're worth my risk.
See it. Yep.
Yeah, you're worth my risk. And I would say to go back to the very beginning of where we started, AJ McQueen. The thing about someone like an AJ McQueen or a Russell, the beautiful thing about them is they actually have a true understanding of their value. So that's not to say they may never sign any types of deals, but they'll be much more aware walking into a record label, being able to say, well, you want to give me. Now, AJ McQueen might say, you want to give me $20,000? I just made $18,000 off a mixtape.
I already made that.
Why would I even do that? I could just keep doing what I'm doing and do that.
Yeah.
So you have to give me something that I can't do. LaRussell, same thing. He could say, well,
50 bands, like,
50
man,
bands.
Somebody gave me 11 bands already.
Off of one.
Just one person gave me 11 bands.
I would rather bet off of that
Yep.
than I would to bet off of, you know, your $20,000 investment. And I think if Christian hip hop is going to elevate to a level of being taken serious on a scale beyond adjacent to CCM or youth groups, that guys are going to have to start really putting themselves out there and seeing what they're actually worth via shows, via actual money being made, and not just algorithmic push.
Glad you brought that up. I really am. Insightful to hear the things the little small pieces that you disagree with. You know what I'm saying? That's the deeper level of leadership. You know what I'm saying? Small nuances that we overlook.
The Bible says it's the little foxes that destroy the vine. It's the devil. The devil's in the details.
And the
little foxes destroy the vine.